I forgot to do the thing where I turn off the camera first or turn on the camera and the microphone before I undid the thing.
Hi, Simon.
Hello. How
How
are
are
you?
you?
I'm good.
I'm good too.
What's up? Have you had a cracking week?
I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, it's only been a week since we released version 2. Is that true?
It, yeah. Yes.
That's insane. That is insane.
It's mad.
We've done
Feels like it's been a year.
it feels like it's been a more than a week. I'll just say it that way.
Yeah.
I was looking at the my luggage, my suitcases, and they look packed, ready to go. They look like
Oh
little
yeah.
worms, right? Like a snake.
Mine are getting worse. I'm getting the crow's feet, and this is receding, and it's all happening, man.
I've got the
It's
Dave Hicking going on, right? So
oh,
Dave.
I love Dave. um, I'm 40 this month,
Oh my God. Yeah.
so
The
this is
24th,
it.
right?
Over the hill.
Christmas Eve, baby. Oh man.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I've done? I've made a huge error in judgment, and I haven't finished the release notes for this week's release.
Finish them up, dude. I'll entertain
You know what
everyone
we
while
should
you're
do?
what?
Talk about releases because that's been a big topic of conversation this week for us now.
Has it?
Wow, I feel like releases is an important topic, so it's a big topic for
Oh,
me.
yes. We talked about this yesterday a little bit. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. That was a good
Yeah.
you're
It's
like,
big for me. It's big
let's
for me.
like underhand segue into this topic. And I'm like, oh, the topic that we're underhanding segueing into. Gotcha.
Before we do that, I'm going to
Yep.
put some music on.
I gotta pull up my notes, man. The change log and the notes. Oh my God, you guys, so many things. We really should get better at the 3-minute banter we do to start the show, at least this time, because I know we're gonna go over an hour and a half today. I know we're gonna go over an hour and a half. And he's
Oh
like,
boy.
not a half an hour or more. I'm like, we'll try. We'll try. So we have a lot to go over. It's no joke. I was really like contemplating, like, holy crap, it's only been a week because we have done so much. And when we were going over yesterday, like all of the changes and looking at everything, I feel like there's probably 20 changes that we're going to talk about. And I feel like 18 of them you have done. And I'm like, what did I even do this week? But I've been so busy. What did I even do? And then we talked about what I did. And then it's like, holy crap. Yeah, it's a lot.
No, man, you like mad respect for
you,
the
man.
things that you've done. Well, you showed me earlier, and it freaking works.
Which one? There's so many.
Yeah. Things.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we could dive right in. There's a lot of like announcements, some things that we've been tweeting about, and
we just have to remember to do sponsor message before we hit the 45-minute mark. That's
I think we do it now.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, I'm not ready for that. I will be. 1 second.
No, well, we can wait.
Yeah, no, give me like a few minutes. Let's ramp up to it because
so
I need
I can go over some of these like these smaller things. I call them smaller things, but they all seem significant to me. Number one, we officially announced earlier this week that I'm going to India. I'm gonna go to India, and I'm gonna talk on stage at freaking Laracon, and I will be able to put on my resume Laracon speaker, and I'm so freaking excited. I'm so excited about that.
I'm so happy for you.
And then they also made another announcement this morning. Did you see that?
No, I don't follow that account.
Oh yeah. So they announced there's another speaker at Laracon India this year, and it's Simon freaking Hamp. Guys, we're both going to India.
Oh, no way.
And
Wait, if I'm going to talk about native PHP, what are you going to talk about? Or
Bifrost.
is it the other way around? Or do I have to think of something else to talk about?
Yeah, so we are sharing the stage at the same time, right? So
Oh.
I did. I'm thinking about like bringing. If I say it, then I won't do it because I'll have to think of something more smart, more clever. So if I say it, I'm gonna say it, but we're not gonna do it now. I
More
think we
cleverer.
bring like. I think I'm gonna pack some chef's hats for us, and we'll cook on stage, baby.
I like
Some
that. I
aprons.
can bring some wooden spoons. I think they'll let those through customs.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I'm still waiting for my visa, so maybe.
It's everywhere you want to be. Is that visa?
Yeah.
Don't you have the company card? No.
Wrong.
Dave
Yeah.
Hickey, a little song. Dave says, "I hope you guys perform a little song for us on stage." It won't be a little song. We're gonna rap Sora style for 15 seconds.
Oh, you know what would be so cool? I wish I was a good musician, and we could just go up and do like a gig. It's like 5 minutes
That'd be cool.
music and then 25 minutes of tech. That'd be fun.
That would be cool. Jigger, Jigger, are you going? Are you gonna be at Laracon India? Are we gonna?
Of course,
meet you?
he's gonna be there.
I
He
would
lives
imagine.
next door to it.
Oh,
I
does
don't
he?
know, actually, I think
Oh,
he's
I was about
far
to say.
away from it.
Is the rest of the team coming?
Everywhere's far in India, as far as I understand.
I want everyone to go.
Yeah.
Man, I was chatting with
Let's go, everybody.
I was chatting with him earlier.
Who?
I was chatting. With Willem.
What's happening?
Sorry, I was reading something. Dude, he's got some cool stuff he's cooking up over there. Really cool stuff he's cooking up on desktop. It's not even like for desktop. He's using desktop to build some amazing stuff. I'm not gonna give it away. I'm not gonna steal his thunder. Happy to retweet if he posts anything, and when it's ready. And like I asked for I want to use this myself, this thing, and he gave me access, and I just haven't even had the time to go and play with it. Then he showed me some more stuff he's doing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be good, really good.
Oh,
Jigger, can't wait to meet you, man. Like less than a month now.
Are we going to talk about versioning?
Yes, releasing, versioning.
Let's go.
All right. So here's the thing. We put a whole, there's in the docs right now, there's a whole section on our way of versioning our mobile package numbers. We decided when Bifrost was coming out to break away from Semver, traditional Semver, semantic versioning, because of the way Bifrost, the way that we were envisioning at the time, Bifrost would detect and implement over-the-air updates for you, which is not yet built out anyway. So right now, over-the-air updates doesn't exist in Bifrost, and a lot of things have changed on our side, and we're gonna have to rethink some of those things when we get to it anyway. But the initial thought was, let's make the minor version number, the one in the middle, that gets bumped only if Kotlin or Swift code changes. If anything, like in the app itself changes. That way we'll be able to detect, because the rule for both of the app stores is if that code changes, it has to go through reapproval through the app stores. So the initial thought and idea was, let's just bump that number. Even if there's a bug, like a little typo or something, we have to bump that number so we can detect that needs reapproval from the app stores as a way to signal for over-the-air updates or not. And then minor patch versions would be any Laravel change. Those could be very significant changes, but they would only be patch. At the time, it made sense. And I think if we were going to still do something like that, then that still would make sense. But we haven't, over-the-air updates don't exist yet. They won't probably for a couple months at least. And And also the way that plugins are going to work are highly going to affect all of that, which throws it all out the door anyway. Therefore, we've decided this flow the last few weeks has been kind of nice, the way that we've been doing this. Fridays,
has.
kind of pushing on Fridays, not that scary as what it might sound. Kind of fun. And then like what we did last week, we tagged version 2, and then Monday we put out 2.0.1. And so it was like little patch, you know, anything that's we find that's like low hanging fruit fixes, right? And all the whole rest of the week we're cooking for what will be our next minor release. Therefore, today we're going to tag 2.1.0. And if there's things that pop up over the weekend or a Monday or on Tuesday, we want to patch, we're going to do patches 01, 02, whatever. And then probably next Friday, as long as it makes sense. We're not going to force things just to do it. Just say every Friday is a new minor version. That's just the way that we foresee it for the foreseeable future now. Just tag the next minor and then patch during the week, and do documentation along the way and make it like nice. And I feel like we're in a space now where things are a lot more stable than what they have been all year leading up to version 2. And it's gonna only get better. We've already talked about what version 3 will look like. We already know, we have a picture of what that's going to be, when we're gonna do that. Eventually we talked about getting to like, you know, major version releases every year, kind of like what Laravel does. But then there's a whole aspect of like just doing a major version just to do it, and we're searching and hunting for things to like do. And it's like, I don't want to ever be locked in to doing that kind of thing necessarily. I think we should do it when it makes sense to.
We have different constraints, right? Because the mobile platforms will also just bring stuff out. I mean, they're good. They're sort of in a good routine, but it's on a different cycle and all of that. And they could bring something out that's kind of significantly breaking or whatever anytime. So we have to be a little bit responsive to the way that they're working. Yep. But yeah, like I like the idea. I really like this momentum that we've got with doing like a week of just like cranking some stuff out, fixing some stuff, and then releasing it. And hopefully people don't mind that it happens on a Friday. Like it doesn't hurt us to release it on a Friday, but
all my days run together anyway. Like I don't even know. The only way that I know that it's Friday is because we're doing live streams today, to be honest. It's like, yeah.
I kind of feel that like, you know, updates to, I've seen people post about like updates to Laravel happening too often because it happens every week now, and even like the major updates happening once a year is still too often. And I'm like, well, is it though? Because you don't have to update straight away. And this is the same thing's true. Like I've got so many Laravel apps that are not even on version 11. You know, we're about to hit 13 and all of that. It's just like, you don't got to keep up with this stuff. But I do want people to keep up with NativePHP, because there's going to be cool stuff every week for the next whoever knows how long, because all of the stuff that we've got to do. It's going to be a tricky thing, I think, but we're going to do it like this for now, and we'll find our feet with it as kind of people react and respond to what's happening.
Yep.
But yeah, I like it. For more the momentum than anything. It's sort of not an overcommitment of we're going to release every Friday, but if we've got stuff that makes sense to, it's going to be nice just to like have these little chunks constantly going out and just feeling like, yeah, we got that out. We didn't work on this for 6 weeks and then have a big launch, you know, whatever.
And there will be like features we already talk about, like plugins and other bigger things like that come along that don't necessarily warrant a major version. Might not even warrant, I mean, a minor version probably for sure, or something like that. But it's just introducing newer things, you know.
Yep. So good.
It's a good pace. It's good. I'm excited. I feel good about it. I feel like the project is less chaotic, and it feels nice.
Yeah, it's been a bit nuts. What I really like about it, I have to say, even just coming like prepping this release for this week, is it feels like we've broken things down more into manageable chunks, and we've got like PRs, discrete PRs, and we can review stuff and go, oh yeah, we did that and we did that. And it's like the last few months have just been like, get all the stuff in there, just like there's no PRs, just merge it.
Diarrhea of the fingers,
Yeah, which has been fun in its own way. It's also been quite stressful.
It's true. Yeah. So that's releases.
Cool.
That's releases. Okay. That's what we're going to do moving forward.
So next, we'll do the same thing as we did last week, and we'll get to the end, and we'll do the release,
and we'll do the tag. And on the back side of this today, we are also going to, I've created a little starter kit, and we're going to make it public once 2.1 is tagged, because I have to do the composer update and make sure, because there's a couple functions. I think there's at least a single function that I'm using in that doesn't exist yet in the current version, and it does in 2.1. So the starter kit, it's a minimalistic, not very opinionated API starter kit. And essentially the goal for this is to show not necessarily exactly how we would do things, but an unopinionated. So I'll say it that way. So I've been using Saloon quite a bit for API stuff, or I would make my own like HTTP macro. The API endpoints are in the API route, and it's authentication, and it's using Sanctum. It's getting a token back. It's putting it in secure storage. It's adding the middleware. The only difference, I think, which I probably would use this starter kit actually, because it's already done, is that we're doing, it's just a simple API service that I created to do that. So it's just using HTTP under the hood with token and all that stuff. And there's like no front end. Oh, there is a front end. No, wait a minute. There's a front end. I forgot about that. There's a front end. Yeah, we're even like pulling in like Laravel News. They have a JSON RSS feed. And so I'm pulling in stuff from that, and like log in, log out. And it does have like the side nav, and it has a bottom nav, and it's got the top bar, and it's got, I forgot about this. I did all that. Yeah, that's part of this one. I've done so many projects. And like when you log out, it clears. And that was one of the bigger things that we discovered the other day. What with the Edge, the way that we're doing Edge, it like never deletes, and on the login or on a login page, you don't want to show it. So you have to clear that out whenever you go to log out, and it just don't want it shown there. So that's the starter kit. We'll have links. We'll post links on Twitter, I guess, and Discord.
Yeah, we'll get it on the docs as well.
In the docs.
It should somehow, maybe not on the docs, but like on the site somewhere. Or, yeah, we'll figure that out. That'll be good.
Yep.
I think you should talk about the hard work. Like, you tried to minimize it by saying I've done all of this stuff, but you should talk about the hard work that you've put in this week, because it's been tough.
I feel like I just keep talking about it.
Tell me how you feel about Windows.
Fucking hate Windows. Sorry, pardon my French. That's not the that's not what you were expecting. You were like, oh yeah, it works. Well, how do I feel about Windows? All right, so I just merged. I spent several more hours yesterday figuring some things out. There's some good news in all of this with Windows. I discovered some things that is actually going to affect everybody else when we tag 2.1 for Android, meaning everybody that's not on Windows, everybody, the rest of the world, which is some issues that people have been pointing out in Discord that I couldn't replicate, couldn't figure out what was going on. I'm like, just try, force install or something, a fresh install, and that's not working. And I ran into it myself. And so there's a big problem that was exposed, and I could not figure out. It took me many hours to discover the fix, and the fix is super solid. It's super stable, and it's exactly like what the fix is supposed to be. So what was happening was, under the hood, we use Gradle 8.8.0, which is a couple years old, and it's from, I mean, that's been there since the very beginning, before I even knew, you know, much about anything with Android development. And on that version, on Windows specifically, they create certain files that get cached. And what I thought was happening was that it would get cached, and then the next time you would start the whole process to build, you'd have to delete those. So there's a daemon that's being created that keeps the ADB server kind of running, that it can communicate with the emulator or your actual phone. And so I'm like, let's do no daemon at the end of the assemble debug, and that will kill the daemon, and then we don't have to worry about cache. That didn't work. It took me a while just to get to that. I remembered back to when I first started doing the Edge stuff, when we were before we even talking about version 2. One of the very first things I did was upgraded to Android Studio Otter, which is the latest release. And then I also, there's a thing that pops up when you start a project in Android Studio, when you open a project, and it's like, you're on version 8.8.0 of Gradle. Use the AGP, the Android Gradle package plugin thing to update. It's an update assistant. And I ran through that on my Mac. I never did it on Windows. And I never made it part of Core. So I took some time and I tested it on Windows, just in a local project, upgrading from 8.8 to the latest version, which is 8.13.1. Number one, huge improvement in performance. Just running assemble debug by itself is a lot faster than what it was on 8.8. Number two, probably the bigger of the two things, all of those issues with the Gradle caching is gone. It has not happened once, and I've run it in a bunch of different ways on a bunch of different projects. That is complete. So I went back on mobile on our package and upgraded. There's really just a couple lines of code to change. It will cause you, and I just did it on this machine for the first time since we brought it in. It took like 5 or so minutes to download the new package, unpack it, and reassemble all of the Gradle stuff. So the very first time you run it, it does take 5 to 10 minutes. On a Mac Studio M3 on Windows, it took a few minutes there as well. So don't be surprised when you first do an Android run with 2.1. So that's a kind of a bigger one.
But
and there's
so
more
is
too,
that going to be, that's going to be like that for, like that would be like that anyway for every new app, right? That first run is like harder because it's fresh.
Yep.
But now you're saying that if you've already got an app, and you've got essentially Gradle cache and all of those things, it's going to have to do it again because it's now all fresh.
Correct. Just the first time. So it's downloading that dependency, it's putting it in your computer so that it'll use it later.
Makes sense.
So the other changes while I was there in Windows, we spent quite a bit of time getting HMR and hot reloading working, which are two different things. Look at the docs. Hot reloading is going to make like file changes, file themselves. Like if you're in a LiveWire sort of content or just Blade or HTML and you make a change, that change has to get moved to the device. Whereas HMR is more for JavaScript and CSS changes. So Tailwind, if you put like BG Cyan 100 in your code and that hasn't been rendered anywhere else, Tailwind's very smart. It's only going to build the classes that you're using. So it does it on the fly, it does it in real time, just in time kind of compiling, right? And so if that doesn't exist, CSS has to rebuild and it has to move over to the device. And so that's HMR, that's the difference there. So we spent quite a bit of time this week. You spent a lot of time on the watch and the HMR and other stuff that I will not steal your thunder on.
I got it in I just had like think Monday morning I woke up and I was just like, I'm gonna fix a whole load of stuff and just play it this week. I'm just gonna make things better. And I haven't quite done what I wanted to do, but I'm really happy with what's come out.
Well,
Yeah.
you want to talk about?
We'll get
what
into
that
it.
is? You want to finish up with the Windows thing?
Yeah.
So the last bit of change that I made was every time you do an NP or a PHP Artisan native run, it would clear your Gradle cache by default because there were locking mechanisms and stuff like that. With the new version of Gradle, that's all been resolved, and so subsequent runs are going to be much quicker as well. And in fact, I saw on Windows on 32 gigs of, I don't know, like the whole thing. I feel like we paid enough for this computer. It should be better, but it's not. It was about 2.5 minutes. Oh, and we have to talk about your little watch command there, by the way. Little watch flag.
Yeah.
When you do so it took like 2 to 2.5 minutes on average to do an NP or PHP Artisan native run on Windows, and I saw for the first time, and I've seen it a few times, 1 minute and 7 seconds from the time I hit the run command until it's installed on the device and it's booting up. So it's almost a 50% increase in optimization on Windows with that. And on Mac, it's already fast, but it's actually even faster. It's about 20 seconds to do a run and get it up. Yep.
Wow. Cooking. We're cooking.
There's a lot more. Where do we?
There is.
I'm looking at the list. Like, what do we start with?
I don't know. I think we're coming. What's the time? We're coming up to like 30 minutes. Maybe we should do the little promo. Let me just. We're gonna give them front and center. No music. You ready?
I am ready, and Jigger called it.
Let me come on, share screen. Thank you. This one, go.
This part of the show proudly brought to you by our good friends over at Mailtrap. You guys, they have a thing for me I'm going to read, but I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. They used to just be like local development sort of mail, catch your local mail so you can debug in Laravel and all that stuff. They do real mail now, and they're like way less expensive. Their free tier is impressive. It's 4,000 emails a month on the free tier. Like we switched over. It just makes a ton of sense to use Mailtrap. Go with Mailtrap. 4,000 emails. Mailtrap is modern email delivery for developers. Integrate straight into your code with SDKs, unified transactional and promo email delivery, 24/7 support. You contact people, not an AI chatbot. 4,000 emails monthly in a free tier. Try it at mailtrap.io today. Go sign up. They're helping us out a lot, and it's an awesome product. And they're super proud with the fact that they are not using AI. If you need support, you actually get a real person on the line that can help you with emails, and that's Mailtrap.
Good job.
Thanks.
You're so pro at that. I'm so not, but I feel like I'm gonna have to do it at some point.
I remember watching that back when I was a kid, the Micro Machines guy that would talk really fast. Micro Machines. You ever see those commercials? The Hot Wheels Micro Machines? And I was like, I want to read really fast someday. I don't know. I practice a lot.
You want to be the guy who says the small print, like reads out that paragraph of text in the last
on the
3
Viagra
seconds.
commercial. If you're allergic to Viagra, do not take Viagra.
Yeah. Because they didn't have that technology to do like 3x speed or whatever it is, right? The guy just had to go fast.
Yeah.
They couldn't even wind the tape quicker. It was like, no, the machine goes at this pace. So.
My Maxell cassette won't.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
I was in. It was actually a shop, but it was like it's a clothes shop. But the other day there was this sort of festival. It was in Tenerife. and they kind of open it up as a bit of a bar during this festival, because it's just like a street festival in this town, and they were selling little beers, and you would just get like pay and get a little chip, like a token from a board game, take it to the girl at the back, and she would give you a beer out of a fridge, which was amazing. And I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And I like got my beer, opened it up, and I walked past this wall, and it was just covered in cassette tapes. And I was like, that's so friggin' cool. It's probably not that cool, honestly, but it's just like, I haven't seen a cassette tape in so long. I had
Where
to
did
take
I
a
see
picture
that?
of myself with my beer in front of it.
There's it was the in Buffalo at the Wire Live, the room
Yeah.
that I was staying in, the wallpaper was cassette tapes, just plastered, like
nice.
thousands of cassette tapes. Yes, not as cool as yours, obviously, but
Not real cassette tapes,
no,
but yeah.
no.
It was nostalgic for me. I was like, when I started talking to my wife, I was like, you remember when you had to get the pencil and, like turn
Yeah.
the thing to wind it back or whatever?
If you weren't supposed to use a pencil, why is it perfectly fit? You know,
I know.
it's like picking your nose.
Same thing with my finger on my nose, but we won't talk about that.
Called it. It's funny. All right,
yeah.
so we talked about this right before that segment. This will lead right into what you are going to do next, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to do next. We got to stay on track. It's still a lot to go.
Yeah.
So right now, not with 2.1 that's coming out, you can now run PHP Artisan native run dash watch or dash capital W. So I want a little shorthand syntax. I also have an alias for PHP Artisan native, or just the native, because you have the shell script there that will shorthand that for you. So I do n run a for Android dash W, or n run I dash W. So nice 5 little characters, and I get a whole freaking thing going here. And what that does now is it spins up the Vite server. It's going to do npm run dev for you. It's going to do all of the run stuff that device needs. So iOS and Android, it's going to do all the packing up of Laravel and all the stuff that it's got to do there. And then it's going to start a watcher. So it's Watchman on Mac and Linux, and it's going to do a PHP polling for now. That's going to get optimized this week. I'm going to spend some time doing it, but it does all these things for you. You don't have to go and start npm run dev, then go start the watcher, or do I start that after? Do I do the run? None of that. We've eliminated, Simon eliminated all of this for you. And it's very cool. And I think this is one of the biggest problems that newcomers to the project were having when trying to get some of this stuff working.
It's just complicated.
It is complicated. It's complicated. Like, we can explain it. We're gonna have to do it 100 million times, or we could just make a function that handles it for you, and that's the right thing to do. So, but on the tail side of that, you've got a little demo for us, don't you?
I do hope to have. I've got so many windows, I need to just sort this out. But
hey, Greg,
let's try and get.
While you're doing that, Alan caught it.
What was that?
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father.
It's
my favorite movie.
It's brilliant movie. Brilliant
Number
movie. People haven't
TJ
seen
Miller,
it.
Craig Anderson,
this weekend.
Livewire Logan. Look at all of our friends. Mr. Jeffrey.
Yay. Hey friends. So I think I'm ready. I think I've got rid of all the crap from my screen. Yeah, so let's go for this. Screen, entire screen, that entire screen.
Eating Pop-Tarts on the live stream.
You're gonna disappear for a minute so people don't have to watch you eat. I'm gonna talk about this. What Shane's just been saying is the watch command and all of the stuff related to hot reloading and hot module reloading and all of that kind of stuff. So it has been a pain. It's been actually really annoying for me personally, which is probably why I fix most of the things that I end up fixing or doing, because it annoys me. But hopefully it will fix some things for you too. What we've had is basically you have to know that you've got to run npm run dev if you use npm to get your hot file in place, and then you have to run your application, and then you have to watch your application, and there's like multiple commands and they come in different order, and who knows how to get that right. Basically now we've boiled it all down to one simple command. So well, it's actually two, but you can break it up and you just use one. You don't need both. So you can do native run and then the platform. I don't know if you can see this very well. I don't know if I can. Oh, I can make that bigger. Native run iOS and with the watch flag, which you've been able to do, but it's way better than it was before. And you don't need to run npm run dev or anything like that. You don't need to remember any commands with any extra flags or the weirdness for different platforms and all of this kind of stuff. It's all taken care of. And even it should, I haven't tested it thoroughly. This is a bad on me, but we're moving quickly. We can break some things. It should work without npm. So if you use yarn or pnpm or bun, it should work with any of those too. So you should just be able to use this, and it's going to figure out the right one to use based on your setup, and then it's going to run the npm run equivalent of that, run dev with the right flags for the platform that you're running it on under the hood. So I'm going to do that here. Hopefully this works. This is kind of an in development project, so we'll see. But see, started V is given it the right mode. It does take a little bit longer to get running this time because of all of the stuff that we're doing. I'm going to run this on a bargain basement simulator because we're going to do some really cool stuff in a second.
iPhone 17 bargain basement. Got it.
It is, yep. So now it's building this application. So I don't really know what to say to fill that time, because everybody knows that this is just that gap where you should like get your plastic swords out and start fighting. And within maybe another 30 seconds, we should have a simulator. Come on, baby. What did you eat for breakfast today, Shane?
Well, I had Pop-Tart. You saw me. I had Pop-Tarts, and
Was that your breakfast?
It's the third thing I ate today. I had some chicken I warmed up, and I shredded it in a little bowl and put it on a little tortilla. That was good. Then I had an ice cream sandwich, or ice cream bar. Because they're good. They're good. We got this huge thing from Costco, which just opened up right down the street, and yeah,
cool.
And then I had a Pop-Tart. It's a non-name brand Pop-Tart. It's not a Pop-Tart brand. There was some sale on the Harris.
We should get sponsored by Pop-Tarts, and then you can buy actual Pop-Tarts.
That would be, my life would be complete.
We just need to get, who is it that run Pop-Tarts? Kellogg's. Get them to use NativePHP. Right. So we've got finally app. That did take a little bit longer. I think it's because I'm screen sharing, or maybe it's because Shane only had Pop-Tarts for breakfast. There's some other stuff that's happened here in the background which I want to talk about just quickly. You could see that it's picked up iOS hot reloading is active. We've got Watchman crawling, and it does some jiggery pokery just to make sure that's working properly. Now we should be able to just hot reload this simulator. We should be able to make a change and see it live without any further work. And I'm going to do a couple of different ones. So I'm just going to make a text change. Put that one over the top for a second. So I'm just going to say hello live stream, because I'm very boring and can't think of anything better to say. Hopefully
very
that
boring.
will
He's always like this.
update. Come on. Oh, sometimes you do have to like push it a little bit. Maybe something has fallen over. It did work. It kind of worked. Let me do. Oh, I don't know why that's not working now. This could really screw up my whole demo. This is no good. Well, I'm going to show you how I debug this. So some people might not know that you can do this.
See, that was all part of the plan. Pay attention.
Yeah, maybe that is. Maybe it was. Who knows? So you can open Safari. You can go to the simulator and see this web view. And I can tell you straight away that it's not using the beat server, and that's the problem, which I don't understand why. This should look like something else. So let's try it again, but a different way. So I'm going to show you the other command that we can run. Whilst the app is running, I don't need to rerun it, hopefully. So I can just do native watch iOS. If this doesn't work, demo might be over. I've got one other part to it that I want to show, but let's do the simulator. Connected but received no data.
You think it might have something to do with all the other phones you got connected?
I think it might have something to do with some other work that I've been doing, and it's just messing around with it.
That's
and
what I was
prepped this demo.
Yep.
That sucks. Well, lovely. Yep, that ain't gonna do it. Okay, sorry, but that doesn't work. Basically, I'm going to talk about it now because that is terrible. Let's get rid of that for a second. It would have, and it will do when we release what we release. It will let you run the hot module reloading and hot reloading. So static files, JavaScript, CSS, Livewire, Blade, all of the stuff, all at the same time on both Android and iOS at the same time. So you can get, yeah.
Cool.
So you can have, if you really wanted to like crunch your system, as I've clearly done, you can have both simulators open at the same time and have it running all of that stuff, which believe me when I tell you, it does work. My demo is just looking at code.
Well, and I know some of the things you were working on right before this, and I feel like
now I'm worried about those demos as well.
Well, we'll get to that, but that's some cool stuff he's working on. We'll have that for next week, I'm sure.
Yeah, damn it.
So, well, good job. You bored us to tears and you screwed it all up anyway, so.
Yeah. Let me see. Do you want to move on to something else and see if I can just get this other part of that demo working? Because I want to make sure that
you're just going to do it locally and I'll talk about something else? I mean, like without sharing your screen, you want to share your screen?
No, you carry on and I will get this ready and then I'll come back to it.
Okay. All right, let's go talk about, where's my notes here? We have a huge change log. You're good with me going through the change log? And then we're going to do, just so you guys know, I'm going to do a plugins demo for you. And oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I should have been hyping that up more at the beginning of the show because plugins are going to change everything about this project. And I've spent quite a bit of time last week and this week working on it. And it is, I'm getting really, really, really excited about it. It's not just hype. I try to, everything's very exciting for me in general. Like I just wake up and I'm excited because I woke up today, you know? So I do realize like there are people watching and listening now. And so I should make sure that I'm portraying my level of excitement publicly as intentionally as it should be. So plugins, I'm very excited about. Plugins are going to be a very exciting thing. And I'm going to do a demo towards the end of the show, and then we're going to tag 2.1 and we're going to go. But 2.1, this is my list. This is my list of 2.1. In fact, I will paste it. Is it already? Did you? I wonder if it's better if I take the list that you put together on the.
If you've got the release notes up in front of you, then
that's what I'm looking for. Where are those at?
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, baby. People.
Where?
All right, and here's the thing. I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek. I'll tell you a little bit about plugins. If you use Claude Code, if you use AI, if you use Boost, and if you want, and there's more. And if you want to support Boost from your plugin, there's some things in store for you. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So I'm going to give this to everybody. We'll go and talk about these a little bit. So here are the 2.1.0 changes. Very exciting stuff. Did it not pop in? Oh, well, let me put that much info into chat, maybe.
You might want to just like show it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We'll do that.
Let's do that. Brown cinnamon sugar is a classic.
Yeah, it's catching up.
You don't need Pop-Tarts for that either, you know? Oh, no, not me. How do I change who that works for? That's crazy.
All right. So we'll go through these. Not too much time on each one of them. Some of them probably will warrant more conversation, but there was an issue on Android with scanner permissions where it actually requires permissions to your camera. And when I was testing it, I already had granted my app permission to the camera. So it was like a false positive for me. So that's fixed now. If you go and you try to open the scanner, it's going to ask you for permission for the camera just by doing that. It was just giving a toast of like, hey, you need permission. We spent quite a bit of time. This is part of 2.0.1, but edge to edge on Android is now fixed. And essentially that was a breaking change that we were not really anticipating. So the underlying core of that is in the main activity of when the app first boots up. It used to boot up a certain kind of like, it's just a web view. Now that we're doing all the native edge stuff, it's wrapped inside of a compose, which is it's a different sort. So the web view is now inside of this other element, and web view only has access to what compose gives it access to, and it did not give it access to the viewport. And so now we're passing the viewport into the web view intentionally, and it's working just fine. You can do H screen full or whatever it is, min H screen and stuff like that. So this is back in play. On iOS, the auth browser was broken. We spent a lot of time actually with this and with deep links on Android, which is that in here? It must be. I don't see it though. Oh yeah, it's down there. I see it.
It is.
So a lot of things with just browser auth wasn't even working on iOS, or it wasn't doing the right callback stuff. We spent a good amount of time on that, as well as, and I'll just skip this one for a second, the deep links in the link scheme inside of Android is now cleaned up quite a bit significantly, all tested, all working, and it's wonderful. The top bar component for the edge component, the alignment was by Willem was like left aligned, so we just defaulted to center. We'll have more support. It's one of the things that I plan to work on this next week is going back into edge and cleaning up some of that stuff. Issues with plist, that was a doozy actually. With people couldn't actually even deploy on Bifrost because the plist was not it was like asking for strings, or it was duplicating strings or whatever. Hey Sonny, yeah, 2.1, we're about to tag it, baby. Go back to the beginning, go ahead and rewind. to the beginning of the show where we talked about releases and versioning and stuff like that. We're changing things up a little bit. Native PHP start URL. Is this documented? I think it is.
I don't think it is actually.
We'll look into that, but you can set a start URL that both devices know to open up. So if you're working specifically on like a scanner function or something like that, every time you boot the device and you open it up, you have to navigate to it, and like it can be a pain. So you can just tell it what URL you want to start on. This also kind of paves the way towards, unintentionally by Simon, but technically you could serve like mobile and web from the same repo, and we are against it officially, but we know that's what people want, and someday I think we'll be there, and this kind of starts chipping away in that direction. Yeah. Native install, I think Fresh is a better name than Force. Force is still there. Force is still there for PHPRs and native install, or you can just do -F, -F will work. The timeout increase for slower networks on native install. Support for common URL schemes. This has been asked about for a long time, actually.
Yeah.
So you can do, like href mail to, right? Email, opening email, or tel for telephone or SMS. We are now fully supporting those on Android and iOS. There's also FaceTime and FaceTime audio. I don't think these will work on Android, but because it's no FaceTime there. So those now are fully supported. We now have an edge clear method, which is something that you'll see inside of the what's it called? The starter kit. This is how we clear things out. So like on login screens, you don't want them shown. So we want to hide those. So we can clear them all out.
Yep.
There will be more support. This will get more clever as we go forward, but for now, at least we can do this. We have app settings. So this is a link directly to the OS's settings for that app. So you can imagine like in Android or something where you didn't give it access to or permission for push notifications or something, notifications. If you already revoked it, you have to go into the app's settings on the device to be verbose and give it those permissions. We now have a link or a function that you can call from a button click or whatever that will open that up in the device for you. We missed share URL in the JavaScript library, so that's been added in. So now you can do share URL. The combined watcher. So the watch flag now starts the npm run dev. It does work. I can demo it on my machine because I was just playing with it.
That's not
it's
fair.
Just on iOS too. So it is part of 2.1. It is coming out. It's just Simon's. I know. I won't steal it from you. I don't have the two devices hooked up. But...
Yeah, you should demo it. But I'll when we get back to the one that I want to show, you'll see why. But
yes.
But that one is working, so we can come back to that in a minute.
This one, we switched from FS Watch to Watchman. I have issues with that on Windows. It's just not supported very well for Windows. It's a Meta thing. It's created by Meta, and they are open sourced it. And so there's like our whole thing of like against some open source projects where it's not funded and stuff. This one fell to the wayside on their part. They let this one slide, except for internally. And their docs even say, we are going to use Watchman internally for our own needs, and therefore we're not doing Semver, we're doing whatever we want inside, and you'll get what you get. You can always build the binaries yourself if you want to, and debug and fork and all that stuff and whatever. So for now, we're not doing this on Windows, but it is on Mac, and Linux will support this. This is something I wanted to build for a long time, and Simon did it, and I'm so happy he did. We now have our own blade directive. So you can do like at mobile, at end mobile, at web, end web, Android, and iOS. And so that's going to allow you to split your UI out dependent on the device that it's running. So if you want something only displayed on Android or iOS, you can do that, or something only on web or mobile, you now can do that. Improved Windows support, we went over at the beginning of the chat. That was what took up most of my time this week. There was a bug actually that someone told us about. I didn't believe it, but we tried it and it was true. When you go to take a picture and then you cancel it on Android, it would just like throw a big like Laravel
Yeah,
error,
really
right?
horrible error.
And so we fixed that, and now there's like a proper event that's emitted when somebody cancels it. You can catch it if you want to, but at least it's not going to throw an error. Cleaner console output. This is one it's been killing me for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I cannot wait to show you guys. Allow bottom nav values to change dynamically. Actually, what do you mean by this?
Yeah, there was an issue when I was doing all the hot reloading stuff, and I was like, oh, I'll just try this out on the bottom nav because I know that changes, and I made a change and it didn't change, and I was like, wait, why didn't that change? And I tested it on something else and it did change, and I was like, oh, so the hot reloading's working, but maybe the bottom nav changing the text of the buttons wasn't working. So I dug into that and I found actually that was just like cached in a way. So I've fixed that. Very minor, but you would spot it eventually.
A good friend of ours, big fan of the show and the project in general, Vince. I don't see him in here today, but he pointed something out this morning too along these lines that we know that we've wanted to get to, and I will be spending more time on it this week, which is dynamically changing, setting current on the side nav, bottom nav, etc.
Yeah.
From an inertia app, because the inertia apps are different technically. And so we have to detect things a little bit differently. And what we want to do, and what I'll be spending my time doing, is creating a way to like have some first party, either I don't know exactly the mechanism. We played with some things and had some problems, but I'll be thinking through how to implement updating edge event. Like the place I want to get to would be really cool is having a badge in the bottom nav and a button in the web view that I click and it's increasing that in real time, right? That's kind of a demo of a full working process of all these things coming together. And so we're going to get there for that. That's one of the things that I really want to solve. And so that's one of the things I'll be working on this week.
Nice.
That being said, can I show them this?
Yeah, of course.
You guys want to see? You guys want to see? And then I'm going to answer this question on the heels of that one with plugins. So this is really cool. I'm going to switch to...
You're not, I'm not supposed to say sexy. I'm told off for saying sexy, but it is sexy.
I'm going to switch this. I want to show a before and after. Let me see.
Why won't that? I can't get it to use you. No, that's not going to be it. Why is it not letting me put you first? I don't know.
Because I am you and you are me.
That must have been what's happened. Yeah. Damn.
So what's happening?
Yeah, well, I'll just leave it with both of us on the side. Or I'll just put it up without your face. Sorry, no one's going to see your face. That's
fine. That's fine. All right, so I'm doing a composer update. This is going to go back to 2.0.1, and I'm going to show you before and after of the console logging. So let's do PHP artisan. My goodness. Native install force. And this was the experience that everyone's had for many, 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 many months now. That's not it at all. PHP artisan. Oh, it's because I mistyped. Sorry. I've only done it a million times. All right. We want to do both. We want to do no, and we're going to let it run. And there is our native install force, and then our PHP artisan native run Android. We're going to do a phone. We're waiting for it to boot up. We'll give that a second. So there's a little sneak peek you weren't supposed to see yet.
Oops.
It's actually nothing, to be honest. Like it's already deleted, but all right. Minification disabled, obfuscation disabled. copying files, platform aware, copying Laravel source into temp directory, all this stuff. All right, so this, you guys are all familiar with all this. All right, let's go back to, I'm going to close this down. I'm going to go back and we're going to switch to my local PHP Storm indexing. By the way, one of the things that I've done or started to do recently is it here? I think it's inside of in PHP Storm in the settings, you can exclude directories from being indexed. And so I stopped indexing native PHP. And it'd be cool to have like a way to like tell the IDE with our command to do that. It'd be kind of interesting. Anyway. All right, so let's compose your update again. And I'm going to show you 2.1 console logging. All right, so now I have n install -f. We're going to say both. We're going to say no. Let's close this. And this is the new sexiness. Oh. The new sexiness. Take it in, fellas. Take it in. Take it all in. And then I'll clear, and I'm going to do n run a -w.
What is a?
Android.
Wait. So nice shorthand.
Yep.
That's lovely.
Yep. So I've got A and I've got I.
I love typing less.
Does the watcher.
You know what happens though? I always end up typing loads. Because my muscle memory is like PHP space artisan space blah blah blah.
I've changed all that. Internally, in my own mind, I've changed all that stuff.
This looks beautiful.
So it's doing all the same stuff. We didn't functionally change anything here. I mean, this is all different because of the work that you've done with starting the dev watcher, the Vite watcher, and then it's going to start the Watchman at the end of this all too.
We'll tidy up some of that other stuff as well, like bring it in line.
So this is the faster Gradle assemble debug. So Gradle caching now enabled. As soon as I say that, it's slowed right now. You see that? But the nice thing is once it's started here, and we'll show there it goes. We'll go to, let me see what I've got for my views. Okay. Just a question for you. Did you have your app version in debug?
Yeah, no, I know what the problem is. It's because the secondary demo that I wanted to show has actually caused a conflict with the first demo, and I should have swapped it out beforehand, but I didn't have time.
Yep. Get them every time. All right, there we go. This is much slower than my everyday whatever. I think it is because of the screen sharing. I mean, that might be a placebo or negative placebo, whatever. This should work though. Ka-chow.
Booyah.
And so that's the new logging, console logging in native PHP. I think it's beautiful. I think it looks great. And I think too, at the same time, what this is doing is it's going based off of what you are doing or we're doing. It's putting inside of here, we've got all of the Android actual logs. So if there is an issue, we've got all of the actual logs being ran anyway. So you're not losing anything. Everything stays as it was. And now we just got it nice and cleaned up and tidied up here. I even added your little app version inside of this too. So.
Oh yeah, love it.
Who's ready to do a plugins demo? Anybody want to see a little bit of plugins? like where I'm at with some things?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think we need to see more fire emojis or claps or something.
That's what I was thinking. Let's get some engagement.
Or like top hat emoji. Plugins. Give me those plugins, sir.
Let me switch to my branch. You guys are go quiet. You got real quiet. Dr. Codswallop.
I mean, we've got some.
Maybe I'm just not seeing that as much.
I think the YouTube has got the funny little floaty icons when people press the buttons, and we don't see them here. But they're happening. I can see hearts and hundreds and smiley faces.
Heck yeah.
I think it's a go. I think people want it.
Alan, what's up, dude? All right. So this is not caught up to, so the new console stuff is not merged into this branch. This is on my plugins branch that I've been working on. So let's go ahead and clear this. All right. First things first, we'll have, to some degree, we're going to have, none of this is finalized, by the way. None of this is finalized. This is the direction we're going. Most of it probably will stay, but I want you to know, like, this is, you don't just go trying this stuff because it's not going to work, or it could change, etc. But my goal here is to put the developer experience first, and then also enabling them to put the developers that are going to use their plugins first. And I want to support you supporting them as much as possible. That is my goal. Because the ones that end up using your plugins that you're going to make, they need to know that you can support them supporting their end users. So like, it's such a crazy hierarchy of support here. And I'm trying my best to keep all of that in mind as I'm building this out. So we're going to have PHP Artisan. I do have a shorthand, but I just want you to see it this way. Native plugin create. What this is going to do is several things. Number one, it's going to give me a trivia question. What is your plugin name? Right now it's defaulting to the NativePHP namespace. I suggest you don't ever use that, and we might put something in there that keeps you from doing that. I'm going to put mine in Shane. I'm going to call this, we'll go with that example that I had going on. We'll call it haptics. Shane haptics, okay? What namespace do I want this plugin to use? Haptics. Hey, yes, sir. You can skip this and I'll show you why, but you can put a description in here if you want to. Where should the plugin be created? Just go with the default for now. Do you want to include Boost AI guidelines? Yeah. Do you want to install AI agents for plugin development? Yeah. All right.
Wow.
So before I take you through this stuff, let me show you what this has done. In Claude, right now it's only supporting Claude because it's the only thing I use. It's given you a Kotlin, an iOS, Swift iOS, a JS Bridge, a plugin writer, and a plugin docs writer, agents, sub-agents. So now I can do something like Claude. Do they have a list agents? Wow, that was fun.
Oh,
I forgot about that. That's a me thing. It's not a you thing.
Good job.
Claude.
I was scared then for a second. I thought the dream was over.
No. I just have to set it to use NVM 22 or whatever.
You need like an RC file or something in your.
So now you can see we've got a docs writer using Haiku. We've got iOS JS Bridge using Opus, and an Android Kotlin Opus, and then a Sonnet for the actual plugin. The plugin writer knows how to orchestrate everything. Obviously, it's obvious what the iOS and the Kotlin experts do. And then it's, I don't know if it's actually implemented yet, but let me show you this next part. We'll go back to this, and I'll show you some of this stuff. This is where it gets really, really fun. So what this did was created a packages directory, and I've got namespaced my Shane haptics plugin. This is my plugin. So it might be a little difficult to read this. I'm sorry if it is. I don't think I can zoom this part of the screen.
I think it's okay, but
Um,
my
so
eyesight's not as bad as yours.
So like the basics of this are, we've got some tests here, and I'll go into that just a little bit. I only started briefly touching those. It gives you a haptics service provider, or like your namespace service provider. It gives you a facade. So here's the facade, and that's just wrapping this class. This class is going to hold all of your functions that are going to call, and it's giving you stubs to start with, but you're going to override these probably with quad code anyway. But like there's like a haptics execute function, and that's going to do if the function exists, the native PHP call, which is, this is how we're doing everything. This is the God method, right? So we're enabling you to call the God method with whatever. Again, all of this is like just stub, just stub stuff. This is how that essentially works. So you have the facade, you have the class underneath it, you have like a default event. So you can, this is exactly how we build everything on our side. You create an event, you hook it up, right? And then you've also got some commands here, and I'll go over those commands here in a second. Before that though, I think we'll take one step back. Number one, the native php.json file. So this is what we are going to use for a lot of things. This is like the manifest of the plugin itself. This is going to give all the instructions to us when we start the marketplace, and to the app itself of like how we're going to implement everything. I'll zoom in a little bit here on this code. Not sure why I can't shrink this now. So I got a lot going on the computer. All right, so not too much to really go into at the top here, but keywords and categories for the marketplace, which we've talked about a few times. We're going to start to support these items. Obviously, licensing. This probably won't stay. Maybe it will actually. Like your author information homepage, all this stuff. It's like, that's good metadata. Like what platforms are you supporting and that kind of stuff. This hasn't been implemented yet, but it will be. And then it's registering your bridge functions. So this is essentially what we do all the time when we're building out any APIs for you. We create a single function. This is the string that we pass into the God method of the function that we want to call underneath, and then our Android and our iOS calls under the hood of what actually implements those, and then a little description for what each one of those are. If your app requires any sort of permissions for Android or iOS, this supports not just permissions. In fact, is it down here? It might be down here. It's not down here. But it also does, like in your Android manifest file, there are like activities you need to register sometimes for, like if your plugin opens up a camera X intent or something like that, you have to specify that in the Android manifest. And this is your way to hook into all of those things. So permissions, dependencies. If you require any third-party dependencies for Android, or a Swift package manager package, or a CocoaPods dependency, you can put all of those things right in here, and it'll just put it in the right place inside of the native PHP app for you. You can declare any events that might need to be fired. You can namespace those. This probably won't actually stay. Same thing probably for this. You declare your service provider here. Again, it's all stubbed out for you, but we do detect these things and we use them. And then assets. So if you guys were following me on Twitter at all, I put out this video, and that's what this came from, where I did like this thing where you opens up the camera and it detects like your shoulders and your arms and your fingers and your face and like all these things, and it would draw over my body. It was off a little centered, but it worked. I needed to bring in an AI LLM on device. And so like Google ML-Kit, like it provides support for all this stuff, but it had to be put into the right place on the device. There's a couple constraints here. There's a couple things here that like keep you, like you don't want your files to be too big in the plugin. Like it's okay to like download an LLM when your user of your plugin first boots it up. It might download that LLM, and then you can say, hey, download or install it if it's already downloaded, right? And then that will put it in the right place for both Android and for iOS. In fact, I've cleaned that up quite a bit, and this is something that people have been asking for, I think, for quite some time. And let me see if I can. Yeah, so we'll do PHP artisan. Let me do the shorthand. PA native plugin. We've got this make hook. I'm so used to, back used to Windows, I hit Control instead of Command. So I've got this make hook. What we've given you so far, there's 4 lifecycle hooks. How would I do it right? Well, that's wrong. So this is a work in progress. So what this make hook does is it will actually ask you what kind of lifecycle hooks do you want? And so we've got copy assets. Where is that actually at? Yeah. Bummer that it's broken.
Oh man, demos today are really struggling.
You know, it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it. This is all like, you know, this is all beta stuff.
Well, the thing is, like, we haven't really prepped for demos. We just like run straight up to this call.
Yeah. So what this gives you, there are four lifecycle hooks that we give you. There's moving assets over, which can happen kind of anytime. There's pre-compile, post-compile, and post-build. And so all of them extend this native plugin hook command, which gives you some, let's find it here. It gives you a bunch of these helper methods. So we give you like, is iOS or is Android? Let me zoom in. Is iOS, is Android, the build path, the plugin path. These are all functions you can call from within your lifecycle hooks. What's the app ID for the user? What's their whole config that they have that they're passing in? What are the other plugins that are installed? Then there's file operations. So copy to Android assets, right? So that will put like your LLM in the right place that you want. Now it will default to a certain spot, but you can override that. So you can override the destination if you know exactly where things need to go. Copy to Android, the res, the whatchamacallit. Copy to iOS, copy to iOS assets. There's one down here I want to get to though. Anyway, lots of little helper functions that allow you to put to download files from maybe a third-party area so that it's not part of the actual plugin, but it's installed before your user starts using it. There's also download if missing. That's what I was looking for. So it'll download it. It'll check a destination. If it's not in that destination, it's going to download it. And then the next time it runs, it will say, yep, that's already there. We don't have to download it again, which just further enhances your experience, their experience, etc. And all of these run exactly when you would think too. So pre, post, compile, post build. So if you want to do something like, thanks for trying Snazzy or whatever, you can put all that stuff in there. The last bit of this, though there's a couple of things we can do here, but I think just explaining like the docs writer itself will help you create your plugin docs, but then it also knows to go back into your resources, boost, guidelines, core.blade file, and it will update this according to common specs. What Pushpack actually gave to, this isn't actually it, what Pushpack gave to TJ, which is like the right way to reference the docs when things are requested. So what this means is if you're creating like this haptics sort of plugin, right? When the users of that plugin, they download it from wherever, the composer require this plugin, and then they can start up Claude, and Claude's gonna, if they do a boost install, Claude will detect that they have a guideline there. And when there's a guideline there, now it's enabled them to use the guidelines that the docs based on the docs that are created. So you always want to go back and tweak your docs to make sure they're exactly right, but we'll write the docs for you. We'll update the guidelines with references to those docs. So people using your plugin can vibe code essentially whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or I mean, maybe not vibe code, but could be vibe code, and it does pretty good at vibe coding. We can say, let's exit this. Let's do Claude. And let's see how this goes. I could fall flat on my face here. We're just gonna see what happens. So we're gonna do, hey Claude, I am making a native PHP plugin. Use the plugin agent along with iOS, Kotlin, and JavaScript agents to create a nice little library for interfacing with all of the haptic types we have access to on iOS and Android. Don't forget the docs and to update the boost guidelines. Yeah. And so we'll let that go and do its thing. I'm not going to touch it. We can come back and talk a little bit if you want to. What do you guys think about plugins?
Have you shown like where you would actually write the native code?
So I don't think I've shown that, no. So Android, cancel that. So inside of resources, Android haptic functions, this is where the actual implementation for that execute function would be. And the get status. So these are like the stub methods, but these all would work right out of the box. And then for iOS, it's right here in this haptics function Swift. So you've got the execute and the get status.
Yeah.
And that gets registered at compile time back into native PHP for you. Let's go ahead and just say yes and don't ask again. Yes. Just do your thing, dude. Cool. And then also the JavaScript. So this is the haptics.js. This is actually how we also this is what the JavaScript essentially looks like for running God methods from Vue. We have this function called bridge call, and that does a post to this endpoint, the native PHP API call. We pass in the method name, that's that first string, and then any parameters for it. And then, you know, just some basic, like if there's an error, then, you know, handle it gracefully. And then execute. So your plugin would have like haptics.execute. And that's just going to call that bridge call function, which calls that God method under the hood that passes any of those options that you need to all the way into Android or Kotlin, dependent on the device you're on. And then we just export those functions. So that's haptics, they execute or get status functions on it. And what's nice is, again, these agents know how to interface with all of this stuff. So this takes a few minutes, clearly, like it's going through and doing a bunch of stuff. The nice thing is it's doing it all simultaneously. That's why I went with the agent itself, or the agent mechanisms, because it's doing them all at the same time, right? It's making all those changes to all those things simultaneously. And it's doing its individual researches and all that stuff on what you want it to do or not want it to do, or what's available on iOS or how to handle it on iOS versus Android, and then implementing the JavaScript bridge and creating the docs, and then updating the guidelines for Boost so that your users again can use Laravel Boost under the hood. Why not?
Wow. I think now that you've actually demoed that, I'm getting it more than I was getting it before.
You were kind of like, yeah, I could tell it wasn't something, either wasn't clicking or you didn't do what?
I've been super dumb about it.
Oh.
I think that kind of helps a little bit, but honestly, I'm seeing it way clearer right now. The value of using the sub agents, right? And the fact that we've thought about, or you've thought about how those should operate and the kinds of things that they should be able to do, and how you then focus the agent's attention on specific parts of the whole challenge of building plugins, means that it can go and do this work for somebody who wants to build a plugin and is comfortable using Claude or something. Then, you know, that's going to make that a whole lot easier. Where I'm just thinking, like, from the basic level, plugins are bringing together PHP code, maybe JavaScript code, but certainly Swift and or Kotlin code, so that you can package all of that up and just distribute it into other people's apps, like, or your own apps. You know, first place is you doing it for your app, right? You want some functionality that doesn't exist already within native PHP as sort of core functionality, and you want to expose some new native APIs. You can basically do that now, or you will be able to when the plugin stuff is out there. And on top of that, then we're making it really, really, really easy for you to build those by using AI.
Yeah, and then the other layer of that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And then the other layer on top of that is adding the boost guidelines and document writer, so that the people using the plugins, our users, the people we're talking to now, they'll be able to use your plugin with Claude, and it will know based on the documentation that it's writing for you, right?
So it's basically all set up to be ready for how we build.
That's what I'm saying.
Today.
I made it too easy.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
Oh my days. So, and then to top it all off, like, this is incredible. But I think even better is that this is like the cherry on top, that they're just composer packages, right? So you just composer require, you know, like you've gone Shane/haptics. When you've deployed it to somewhere where you can distribute composer packages, and then it's just going to pull that in, it's going to auto register, and if somebody's using Boost, it's then Claude or whatever is going to know about that tool, that plugin, and be able to use it effectively as they're building their app. That is crazy easy. Crazy easy.
So when I was building this initially, and I deleted all of the plugins I've already created, and it's fine, because again, I vibe coded them. I was just like playing with the agents, playing with moving the code around, which it's still not finalized. And that's why it's going to take us, it's more important for us to take more time now to make this as complete and think through all the things. And that only happens by building more and more plugins, right? Because we're dog fooding it ourselves to find all of the friction points. It's important for us to get it exactly right, because the more solid we make it now. So let me launch the document writer agent and check what files were created. That's so cool. So now it's writing the docs.
So it's kind of finished.
Yeah, it seems to have been. We'll see what happens. So this hasn't updated yet, but we'll see.
I think it might be writing it somewhere else, you know. I don't think it's put it in the package folder that you've created already.
Oh, I guess it's not. So yeah, it needs some work. It needs some better training. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it needs to know exactly where and how, and everybody's, you know, what everyone's going to be using this as. It's kind of weird, but nonetheless, we can look that up.
Well, that's actually AI. Sometimes it makes some weird decisions.
It's got to be directed in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, it's very, very cool, dude. Like, this is, it's a level of thinking about this problem that, you know, I normally just go in like, I just want to create a Swift file and a PHP file and just have those things work and install it with Composer. And then I'm like, that's enough. You've gone like to the next level and the next level and the next level. And you did all of that in like last weekend, which is
pretty much. Yeah. I think I've collectively spent, I did maybe 20 hours last weekend and then another 4 or 5 last night on this.
Yeah. I mean, amazing. You need to be careful about how much time you're spending on that.
To me, it's important for this to get right, you know?
Yeah, I love it.
So actually, it's kind of interesting. It just did it in a totally different project, but it is here.
Fun.
Open plugins, open in a new window.
That's
Give that a second.
weird, man. Oh yeah, haptics. Let's put a haptics folder in there. There's a haptics folder at the root.
Oh, it's actually the same project.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. Fun. Demos are killing it today, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's put some files in the wrong places, but that, oh my god.
Yeah.
Vibrator. Yep.
That's gonna be a short. We're making a short out of that. Docs. Yeah, so this is all wrong. But again, I was playing with this stuff last night.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like it's built it basically, and then okay, we'll see. Like, is it good enough to run? But another time, I guess.
Yeah, I can't do that now, and I wouldn't expect that necessarily. I mean, like if I was spending a couple hours probably in a session, or
sure.
I did this one actually in about 20 minutes. That's with the UI that you saw before. And then it was like some things were wrong, or it was working. Some of them were working, some of them weren't working on Android versus iOS. And so, yeah, it's just like you're kind of just vibe coding. And I did nothing to like look at the underlying Kotlin Swift code at all. It was just about, seeing, again, dog fooding it, making sure things are in the right place, which clearly they're not, at least according to in fact oh no, you put everything in the wrong place. We already had a packages Shane haptics plugin. Fix it. Again, we can keep showing this stuff if you want to, but
yeah. Well, there's been some questions and there's some chatter, so we should talk about this. Wrap plugin section up, and like we're over our normal time, so we should
we'll have better demos coming soon too.
Yeah, this is the other thing. Like, I just think this is very, very early. Like, you literally wrapped this up in a couple of days. Like, it's been 3 days of work, right, or something that you put into this.
Yep.
And you're already demoing it, and it's already doing amazing stuff. So that's incredible. But yeah, we've had, I think one question has been around like learning this stuff. So will there be tutorial on this later? Maybe we'll use the docs. There's lots of information.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
lots.
like you've spent a good 20 odd minutes talking through all of that. So
one thing that we know we're gonna do like a video course, obviously, and we're gonna do part of when we do the video course is putting out some of those videos on YouTube. And I think that plugins probably is a wonderful place to put some of the videos on YouTube, just because that's educating people to empower them to build for other people, right? The way that we see it, the way that we want it is we're going to have a marketplace. You spend a little time on that too, so don't I don't know, do something sneaky, but it's all right if you do it sneaky. I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
But you did spend time on the UI and the front end for that. So we're gonna have a marketplace. We want hundreds or thousands of plugins, and I like you can just sit down and in one day. I mean, I wrote most of the plugin feature along with 4 full like plugins, right? Like they were all done. You could use all of them. And they weren't like, completely tweaked to the nth degree. Like you can always do more, whatever on it. But they're very
Yeah.
quick with the way that I've done this to create and put out there. And we will like approve, and we'll do code review on some of the stuff and make sure like if somebody's already got
That we have to.
a a Twilio SMS or something like that done, that somebody else doesn't come along with the same sort of implementation for the same place. Like you can do it for a different company, or there's gonna be some rules around that stuff. Then we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, just without going into too much detail about that, as you said, but I think it's helpful to put a bit of a stake in the ground right now about the fact that we want to support paid plugins, and we're not gonna provide the infrastructure for all of that because that's not our business. But
What
we
do you mean
want to
by
help.
that?
Well, like distributing the code, like making sure that your plugin is hosted in a private way so it's only accessible to people who have purchased it and that kind of thing. I don't think it makes sense for us to build all of that. I mean, we've been using AnyStack to distribute our package, and that works reasonably well, like kind of quite good. So that's a good place if you want to build package. I think Filament uses it for their plugins and that kind of thing. So
Yep.
that's a good thing. And incidentally, it's built by somebody in the Laravel community. It's built in Laravel. So it's a cool thing. It's got really good support for Composer packages. It's not the only place that it could be, but obviously you could have free plugins and distribute them through Packagist and that kind of thing. Again, we wouldn't do the distribution, that would be Packagist. But the thing that we can do is have a web page that promotes plugins for people. And I think that's what the marketplace will be, is like if you've built a plugin and you think it's worthy of putting in front of the community through nativephp.com, that you'll be able to do that. And we'll have that set up in a way that, hopefully we'll have it set up in a way that makes that equitable for everybody and for us. I'm just being upfront about it. I see that as a way for us to generate some extra revenue, because if you're selling a plugin and we're advertising it for you on nativephp.com, then we should get some of that. And I don't think, it doesn't make sense for that to be an upfront payment, or like that there's some monthly cost to that thing. If you make some money, we just take a little bit of it as part of the process, then I think that's a good solution for everybody. Again, something that AnyStack supports already out of the gate. So that just makes a load of sense, because then we haven't got to build and think about any of that stuff. We just go join our affiliate program. We post our affiliate links through when people buy your stuff on AnyStack, and then we get a cut, which would be a nice, easy way. And if people don't want to list it on the marketplace, then they don't have to, and they can sell it or do whatever they want, whichever way they want. So it's nice all around.
I like that. Jigger said the important part of this, some first party plugins first, right? And so when we were talking earlier about NativePHP version 3, that's exactly one of the things that we were looking at. One of the reasons why we're not going to do it anytime soon. It's going to be not too soon, I would say. We're not going to do it sooner than is necessary. But for example, right now, the scanner, the QR code scanner, is built into NativePHP. The camera, the microphone, all those things, whether or not you use them, the code is in there. And they might bring in third-party dependencies, as is the case with the barcode scanner. That shouldn't be. We should have first-party plugins that are free, that are already part of what's in NativePHP now, and we strip that out of NativePHP, which does cause breaking changes, which warrants a version 3, a bump in the major version. So in-app purchases, we know some people inside of the community that have come to us already that have built their own on top of NativePHP, their own plugins on top of that. And that's absolutely something that we could do first party. We could hire someone to do it, or someone in the community could build this stuff too. And maybe we do kind of pick and choose which ones we want to be first party, or some that are like this, that we're like, maybe we just let somebody else build it. Because the whole,
sorry, go on.
The only point I want to make on that is, like, the biggest part of this for us is that it takes our energy away from building the APIs for all of these different functions. And that will allow us to go into the core of native PHP, more into marketing, more into the education and all that stuff. So we want to stop building APIs, but we want that ecosystem to thrive. And that's what plugins does. It opens it up for everybody.
Absolutely.
There's your
I think it makes sense to have first-party plugins that get that support, but I would want to be very selective about which ones those are, because it's going to be very, very easy to build, as you just demonstrated, really easy to build loads of them. But you want to keep the quality bar really high, and you want to keep them supported as all of these other things keep evolving. And that's just like more time and effort for us. And I think if we focus our attention on making the core really sing, then that makes it even better. Like that makes it better for everybody. Like the experience of building plugins, the experience of building apps, the experience of running those apps. I feel that that's where our kind of attention, certainly in these early years, it needs to be. And so offloading that work of the native functionality to the community through plugins that they can earn revenue from themselves feels like a massive win for everybody. So, and yeah, it kind of opens the door to, like, you could use SDKs from any platform that's got SDKs for iOS and or Android, and just plug it in yourself, and if you're happy enough with that and you don't want to sell it or share it, whatever, fine, you just use it, which is great because you've got ultimate flexibility on what you build into your native PHP apps. But then you can go the extra step and just like publish it basically and sell it. And now like everybody else can benefit from that as well, which it's going to be amazing. And I can't wait for that to come out.
Oh, two things. I'm going to go back to the demo real quick.
Hey, do it.
Because I just realized something. Let me hide this. This said no plugins found, and I'll tell you why. I just thought of it. All the way up here, I was supposed to do this to add this to my composer because I'm building it inside of this plugin, right? So I do want to demo this.
Yeah, you need to install it, really.
Yep. So that would go here. And then, but before I run it, I also have to, only because it's not released yet, let me close this down. I have to go into the composer JSON of that package and change this from 2 to star. And then I can do,
that's nice,
this composer. I can do composer require. What is it? Shane haptics. Right?
Yeah.
And then if I do this, now it should be listed and it's got all my bridge functions.
Oh, that's sick.
And there's 8 functions, Android and iOS, etc. And now if I do this make hook, yeah, that's the plugin that I want, correct? And I want to do precompile, post, copy assets, and post build. So it's implemented those. It's added them into my native PHP JSON down here. It's also added them to my service provider because you have to publish these, which I'm still thinking through some of that stuff. But in the native service provider, it now has those listed. And so
nice.
And the actual implementation. So I'm not going to actually do anything here except for like a log like this. And then I think there's one here. So it's already going to do these. It's just going to log these out. It's not going to do anything. All right. So if I do, I'll do native install force. This is the old console logs. Native run Android. We'll just do native run Android because I actually didn't create any of the other stuff. I just want to show the output from those commands running. This is not anything.
Yeah.
I like this music. This vibe is vibing. There we go. So the pre-compile, the copy assets, the post-compile. Come on.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then the post-build in there somewhere. Oh, it's post-compile. Post-compile.
Yeah.
Copy assets, pre-compile, all those things. Yeah.
That's sweet.
So
it's good to see that working, actually.
Yeah. I just it just dawned on me. And then I did while you were talking about some stuff, I had it move things over. And I told it to create a view. Now I didn't compile it at all, but I did tell it to create the view thing. And so what you can do inside of your JavaScript, it should tell you. It wouldn't be there. It would be. Well, nonetheless, you go into your own packages.
Package JSON, yeah.
So slow because I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, so you would make, all right, so this is basically right. The haptics, and then it's inside of Shane, haptics resource.js, haptics.js. That's right. So npm install and npm run build should compile.
Yeah, so now you've got that JavaScript aliased in, so you can use it in your whatever.
Inside of my resources, JavaScript, pages. I did tell it to make a component, not a. I wonder if it did it like that. Yeah, so either way, that's what it would be, and that's what it would end up showing up like inside of something like
great.
This. So slow, just chugging along here. Sorry, guys. So there, it's imported haptics from haptics.
Yeah.
And then additionally, I think, because I told it to, it's moved the docs over here, and then it's also updated the Boost guidelines.
Sweet.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's so good. So that's actually built out then. The agent's built out a haptics plugin, which lets you do light, medium, heavy, soft, rigid, like feedback, vibration things.
So there's now, I've got support for the Shane haptics in Claude, brilliant. Right? In PHP Storm, Claude
that
code.
Is great.
Yeah. Installed it. And now me as pretending to be the user of the plugin, I can use.
Yeah, the app developer.
Yep. Mm-hmm. There you go. That's a good way to end it, at least.
Yay. One demo worked. Good one. Good job.
We got a demo, you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. That's great. It really is. And it's going to come together, and I can feel it's going to come together really quickly. I mean, it's December and it's a slow month, so I think we need to give ourselves a bit of grace, but I would like to think that in the early part of next year we've got that coming out.
I think January probably. Somewhere thereabouts. It won't take us too long.
We haven't got much left on the list. I don't know if you actually even want to go through those things, but I wanted to jump back to my demo that kind of failed as well.
Do.
Like, let's fix the demos at the end. So I'm gonna jump to the one that I'm actually more excited about. And I was like saying about getting hot reloading working across all of the different things at the same time, and that is a cool demo, and you'll see it. But this one's even better, right? So I'm going to show you. This is a real phone So when I move on my phone, it moves on the screen. I'm just mirroring it to the laptop. So oh, that was good timing. Historically, uh, we've only been doing hot reloading in the simulator, and that's fine. It's been working okay. I think on Android it's been working in a way that you could do it on the real device, and I've been really jealous of that because it's just not been possible on iOS. Like Apple don't provide a good way to do that on iOS. So if they don't provide any way, like if you've got the device plugged in, they don't give you any access to it at all. So you have to use Xcode and all of these things, and you're limited by what those tools can do. You can't really do what this hot reloading requires. And the important detail is being able to push files into the device when they've changed in your local development environment. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go back home. And I don't actually need the phone in front of me because we've got it on the screen. This should change on the device in real time. So this is hot reloading working on an iPhone real device.
If it doesn't work,
what should I use as the quote here? Something that I should say.
Laracon India 26.
Laracon.
Oh
no!
Work.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
If it doesn't work.
Is that what he says?
Yeah. If it doesn't work.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't think
it does work.
I was gonna say you have to do a giveaway on MacBook.
I'm gonna do something else. So I'm gonna do increasing the text size here, right? Because that then becomes like a CSS recompile change.
Does 5XL work? I think so.
I think
it goes up to 6.
Should do.
I know 4 does. Yeah, do 4.
There you were right. Yeah, you've got a better knowledge of Tailwind than I have. So that wasn't even a refresh. It didn't have to refresh the page because that was using Vue. So it was just using HMR. So it recompiled the CSS. It doesn't need to push the CSS file onto the device because it's using HMR to do it. That was working last week anyway. But now we've got the real actual files changing too. So content in these files can change. And that means Livewire apps, you can have full hot reloading on the real device.
Yeah.
As long as it's plugged in. That's the only thing. It's got to be plugged in.
Yep.
This is why my other demo was broken, because I've got these two pieces of work colliding with each other. So sorry about that.
But huge benefit there. If it's plugged in, it's not going to die.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I'm
annoyed that the earlier demo didn't work me up to that, because that was a bit of a bad crescendo. But
you know what? Feel bad about it later. Take it out on the next demo. We'll just prepare more. We're going to get better.
It's great. This is so great, because this isn't something that a lot of things can do, right? You have to recompile, you have to wait, it takes minutes and minutes to get the things onto the device. And I didn't even think it was gonna be possible, honestly. I figured it out, and I'm so freaking pumped. So yeah, that's not coming in 2.1 because it's not quite baked yet, but we'll get that. I think that'll come out next week's release.
So will it maintain Livewire state?
That's a great question. That is actually another piece of work that I've been looking at doing. It's almost finished as well. It's a separate thing. But yes, we will have it maintaining state at some point.
Yeah, the more I do more native things, Alan, on this, the more I'm not doing things on the web at all. Because it just especially if you're doing like native navigation, right? Only how are you going to even navigate on the web? It's just kind of it's different.
So
it's just
I think when we get, connection.
No, you're good.
Really bad. When we get to supporting a single project that can do both, which loads of people keep asking us about.
Yep.
So I think we'll get there. then you will want like the fallback so that the web still looks like it's rendering something because the native components aren't there. And we'll figure all of that out as well. But yeah, I totally agree. I mean, like the line that we had about building in the browser is there because that's what you're most comfortable with. And we didn't really have hot reloading when we started all of this. So it was like, well, iterate rapidly in the browser and then, you know, build and deploy it to the device, and then you can kind of test it there. This changes everything about that. Like, and when you see the hot reloading that works across both platforms at the same time, then you don't have to use the browser at all, right? You're just going to go, okay, well, I can develop on device, and it's slick. I mean, it's going to be a little bit slower and whatever, but it works, and it's way faster than compiling and rebundling and redistributing. So I'm super happy about all of this.
Alan, also to point out, that does already work on Android, and it works over the network currently with Android. So that was part of version 2 release, where it doesn't even necessarily need to be plugged in. It's a little bit slow, but it's not that bad. But it just works. Yeah. HMR and hot reloading. So we'll be tagging 2.1. I want to look at just a couple of things that we discovered kind of on the call, but I will have that out, I think, pretty soon after the session.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to end with?
You know, you've talked a lot about Windows. I want to go back to that for a second, because I don't believe that devs who use Windows are actually happy. I think they have a really bad time.
Let me tell you. I'll tell you. Let me tell you. Victoria, my girlfriend, has a very nice $2,000-ish range laptop. It's good. It's a good computer. I've been telling her about the ecosystem of Mac, answering the phone calls, messaging, all that stuff and so she's like, yeah. And she's like, I guess I am kind of interested. I bought her for her birthday a MacBook Air. And for the first 4 or 5 days, she was like, I don't want it. I want to send it. I'm like, just keep using it. She has stopped me. Her birthday was September 27th. She has stopped me in the middle of her day at least a dozen times, telling me how much she loves this computer and how much she's like, it is. She's like, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I'm like, because we were outside of our $30-day Amazon window for returns. But you're keeping this. You're going to use it. And so she did, right? And so WSL won't work with NativePHP, at least the way that it currently is, Jigger, unfortunately. Maybe I'll spend some time on that. But the better thing is to just go with a MacBook.
You know what we should do?
Yep.
We should give away MacBooks.
Yes.
Because it's like you can develop for everything on a Mac, right? Yep. You have to use Mac for iOS, but you can develop for Android and all the other things. And they're just better. Like, they're just so good for this experience.
Yep. I agree. Let's do a MacBook. It could even be a MacBook Air. Actually, we can do more if they're a MacBook Air.
It's the same CPUs and stuff, so they're still going to be great.
Yep. I think that's what we do. Anybody want a MacBook?
That would be amazing.
Yes.
Funny. We should definitely do it. We should do a competition. Maybe not right now, but yeah, Mac Mini's also a good option.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's true.
Yeah,
if they're not much less expensive and they tie you down is the only thing.
Yeah,
the newer ones are like $800 anyway, whereas a MacBook Air on a sale you can get for around $800 to $1,000. So,
I mean, we haven't got the cash reserves to do something like that right now, but
Apple, if you're watching, which I know you are, because they're on our heels, man, we'll take a sponsorship. Help us, empower us to help others.
Imagine that. More and more people using a Mac to develop apps with AI super rapidly.
Yep. Cool. We'll figure it
All
out.
right.
We'll have
Well,
details.
that's kind of the last thing from me.
Yep. And I'm good. I'm gonna go eat another ice cream, Pop-Tart, and
Good
see you
job.
guys all next week. I have thought about, by the way, we haven't talked to you about it, but I have thought about doing little live streams throughout the week on the channel, just demoing stuff. So that might be coming soon. I get the itch once in a while, just to say hi. I could do it on another channel, but I think
It
it's
could
a
be
good
quite
channel.
cool, like when we've been working on something and you just want to like demo it out for 10 minutes or something, just like hop on and do it.
Yeah. Yep. So there you go.
Cool.
All right, guys, have a great weekend. We will post in Discord when we tag 2.1.
Apple
There you go.
sponsors these guys. That would be even better if Apple gave us the MacBooks
Yeah.
to give away to people.
Yep. All right.
And also maybe like free access to their development, Apple developer accounts, because that's annoying. Anyway, yeah, have a good weekend, bro. Good work.
You too. Have fun. I'll talk to you later.
See you, everyone.
Peace.